Okay, Mr. Buckman, we are live on Facebook and on Zoom, and we'll allow everybody to join us. Welcome, everybody. Kevin, how are you today, sir? Well, I think I know how you are.
How are you, Mr. Weissman? Good day, good day.
Yeah, it is a good day. We're, of course, geared up and focused and very passionate in the creation of our international convention coming up. It's going to be phenomenal. Welcome everybody that's joining. It's going to be a great session. I'll still give it a minute or two. It just now hit 8 o'clock, so. All right. Pennsylvania, Maryland, Minnesota, Vermont, welcome everybody. South Carolina, North Carolina, Arizona, Maine. All right. All right, well, let's get started. You know, the past 13 weeks, I think, have been very productive for those unfranchised owners that have participated in the Stay Focused, Stay the Course 53 Challenge. And it's phenomenal because the accountability and working at least with two other fellow unfranchised owners keeps you on track and consistent in performing the result producing activities. And Kevin, as you know, it was designed to be in alignment with the criteria to become a master unfranchised owner. So this session, I'm going to give a nice overview of the master unfranchised owner program, as well as the 53 challenge as we kick off the next 13 weeks. And just like we did in the first 13 weeks, each week there'll be corporate team members, field leaders, talking about their experiences, teaching the principles and fundamentals that we know have proven to yield results. So unfranchised owners, we can all make progress toward reaching our personal and financial goals. We did put a PowerPoint presentation that'll support our talk tonight. And Kevin, I know you were obviously with the team very instrumental in designing the 53 challenge. And once again, it's been a great success so far, but it's only the first quarter that we've completed. So we're entering the second quarter. And as everybody knows, or if you didn't know, it's a year-long challenge.
As many of us remember, that took gym class, when we had to run that mile in PE, it was always 4 laps around the big track. So if you kind of put it in perspective, we've basically completed the first lap and we've got 3 laps to go. So again, it's not a sprint, it's a process, it's a marathon. And, I'll share this with everybody. Don't get discouraged. As Dennis said, stay focused, stay the course, and, just keep running. The race isn't always won by the fastest runner. Most often it's won by the person that continues to run. So with that, I would say just continue to run. I heard one of our great leaders over in Taiwan, Johnny Wong, he's a triathlete. Okay. So he participates in a lot of triathlons. All right. Which is biking. It seems like forever. They swim forever and they run forever. And, somebody asked him one time, Johnny, what's the hardest part of the triathlon? And I think they were thinking he was going to say biking, swimming, or running. And he said, the hardest part of a triathlon is signing up.
Make that commitment.
Making that commitment and declaring to not only everybody around you, but more importantly to yourself, that you're going to make that commitment to do something and finish it. So, and I often think of, the 90-day MUFO action plan, as well as the 53 challenge. Very similar. The hard part really is just declaring and making that commitment that you're going to start it and you're going to finish it. So with that, Andrew, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen.
Okay, sounds good.
I can find it. Yeah, I found it.
While you do that, Kevin, I think it's been inspiring to have the friendly competition between the different markets, in our global enterprise of unfranchised owners, and it's really cool to have everybody in our community on the same course, practicing these same principles and fundamentals, these tasks and activities that ultimately we want to become habitual. And we know that, first we make our habits and our habits make us. And all these things that have been included in the Master Run Franchise Owner Program and of course the 53 Challenge, it's not out of the realm of anybody's possibility to execute and succeed with. And everybody can do, everything that is outlined, in these two programs.
True. When you think of the Master UFO Action Plan, you think of the challenge. One of the things we do with the 53 Challenge was make it in alignment, okay, with what we were doing in the MUFO Action Plan and weekly accountability tasks and activities, so that we weren't diluting people's focus. In other words, everybody was still focused on the same thing. And really that same thing is, people have heard of the Pareto principle, that, 80-20 rule, 20-80 rule, whatever you want to call it. But where 20% of your people generate 80% of your production. But the same goes for tasks and activities. The tasks and activities of an enterprise generate 80% of the production. Those tasks and activities that we have everybody focused on, okay, are in alignment with the 20% of the activities that generate 80% of your volume, so that you don't have to do that. So again, the 53 challenge is really in honor of Dennis Franks, with respect to staying focused and stay the course. This is your 53 week, this is the chat, your 90-day MUFO plan, your webinars each week for the 13 weeks that are coming up. So this is pretty much, I'm not going to read these to you, but these are the week one. Of course, we're doing stay focused, stay the course, the overview, and then you have different topic 13 weeks.
Correct. And and of course, as everybody has been privy to, each week, there's a promotion that goes out via Unfranchised News and other communication channels. So like I said earlier, field leaders as well as corporate team members, will partner up and really provide valuable insight and training on each of these topics each week. So it's going to be another great 13 weeks as we work through the international convention and then into the fall months. It's going to be great.
Okay, so let's talk about, for a lot of the people, hopefully we have everybody, continuing on that participated in the previous quarter for the 90-day MUFO Action Plan. Actually, quarter 3 kicked off July the 1st. Okay, we go calendar quarters for the, qualifying or requalifying as a master on franchise owner. I'm hoping everybody continues, that started the last quarter. And really, I tell people, this is the 2 to 3 year plan. Okay, this is the 2 to 3 year action plan. It's, it's 2 to 3 years, or what I call 8 to 12 quarters. And that's consistent quarters. In other words, it's quarter after quarter after quarter. I know that a lot of people say, well, I'm going to take a quarter off, take a break. You can't. Once you get that momentum going, once you get those pumps primed, the whole idea is you got to keep that momentum going. And, 13 weeks is a magic number in the sense that it's about forming a habit. It's about getting into the rhythm of the business so that you begin doing the basics and fundamentals of the business without really thinking about it. It's like getting dressed. It's like putting makeup on. It's like, doing whatever you do, whatever your routine is in the morning. You don't think about it, but it's a structured system that identifies and quantifies what successful and franchise owners are doing or have done to be successful. We didn't just pull this out of our ear. Okay. We took a look at every aspect of what they were doing from the database. And that's how we came up with this, this
criteria.
Yep. Okay. So let's talk about the criteria. Okay. And this is important. I want everybody to pay attention here because there's some leverage that can be gained here. There's economies of scale. There's efficiencies here, because what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how you can position yourself to not only qualify, but then requalify every single quarter thereafter. Okay. Number one, you got to complete the shopping annuity once per year. That's a no-brainer. One and done. Okay, you got to have subscription to unfranchised management system. Okay, I would say everybody on this call, if you aspire to a commission, you've got UFMS on your auto ship. So that's something you don't have to even think about again. You don't have to think about number one. You don't have to think about number two. Okay, now here's the key. If you build base 10, if you build that repeat retail base plus you as a consumer, okay, where your unfranchised is representing 500 BV in exclusive Market America products, okay, that are being every 4 weeks by you as your repeat customers, then you're automatically going to satisfy the 1,500 BV for quarter. So if you've achieved base 10 organically, I'm not talking about buying it, 500 to make this up and that. I'm talking about building that repeat customer base. Then this criteria is eliminated as well. You never have to think about it again. Now, if by generating 100 IBV a month from you and your customers, basically you doing 30 and your repeat customer base of 10 doing BV a month, you doing 30 IBV a month, okay, IBV a month, and that's 300 per quarter. Once that's done and done based on, your repeat customer base, again, that's done as well. So you've got criteria 1 through 4 already taken care of. You never have to think about it again in every subsequent quarter. Then it leaves you to focus 80% of your time on just prospecting, qualifying, and sponsoring one personally sponsored and qualified unfranchised owner, a business partner that we're looking for, a quarter every 90 days. Now, if we show the plan, like we talk about in the activity, if we show the plan to 2 people per week, that's 24 in a quarter, okay? Even if we do half of that, that's 12 in a quarter. Okay, odds are the probability is tremendous that we'll sponsor 1 new business partner. But see, now all of a sudden we don't have to worry about the first 4, only number 5. Now, then you've got trainings. Well, if we sponsor 1 new person, 1 new business partner, first thing we're going to do is we want to get them educated so they can do what? Sell product and sell the business. So, we want to get them educated so they can better help, partner up with us to prospect, qualify, and sponsor and expand our sales and distribution network. So the key here is, and then you got to have 3 tickets to the next event, big event. There's 6 months. Go ahead.
No, it's as simple as that. When I think about this, you think about, building the foundation for one's business, right? And it's from the tasks and activities and the getting started guide, it puts you right in a position to take the next step to becoming a master unfranchise owner. I do want to encourage any new unfranchise owner to, familiarize yourselves with the criteria, start with the getting started guide and strive to become a master unfranchise owner, because just like Kevin said, it is the 2 to 3 year plan. It is, the plan. It's all captured, for you. So
exactly, and Dennis, JR is always saying, if you're not if you're not qualifying as a master UFO, your shingle is now not out with respect to your place of business.
Correct.
Okay?
Your business isn't even open.
Business. Okay. So that's the key. The key is that the fundamental is getting that base 10 done. You get the base 10 done. It's amazing. It makes everything else downhill. Okay. Now there's approximately 2 quarters between each major event, whether it be international convention to world conference to international convention, there's 2 quarters. Okay. Well, if you're sponsoring 2 people, 1 in each quarter, you got to have 2 extra tickets. That's why the 3 tickets.
Exactly. And I would like to mention just very quickly, the agenda that's being constructed for this international convention will feature the top unfranchised owners in the country speaking to the how-tos and their experiences in creating a repeat retail customer base, as well as prospecting and recruiting, like you said, as you expand points of distribution by sponsoring in depth on your 2 lines of sponsorship. So it's going to be a very, very valuable 3 days. So
And the
just wanted to
seventh,
mention that.
is, the seventh criteria is slam dunk. If you're doing the first six, you're automatically going to score 80-85% in the basic 5 diagnostic test. Okay. All right. Now, here's where you go. If you want to, explore, which I highly recommend. I mean, I think every single new unfranchised owner and every sponsor of a new unfranchised needs to immediately plug them into a 90-day MUFO action plan and get them started on those tasks and activities that you find here in the weekly accountability report. Now, where to find those? You go to management reports. Okay. You come down here, you've got your master UFO program. Let's move us over here where we, out of the way. And then there's your weekly accountability report. And then you've got your potential master UFO qualifiers. That's for the senior partners. You can identify who's getting close because we're automatically scraping data. And many of the unfranchised owners in your organization may be close to qualifying as a master UFO. It's within reach. So the thing is you want to, peruse that every now and then so you can reach out and get somebody. I mean, the more people you get qualifying, okay, the better your business is going to be. I'm going to slide these.
And it's worth noting too, Kevin, that the accountability within unfranchised.com, once again, is in alignment with the Getting Started Guide, the Master Unfranchise Owner, criteria. So not only do we want to encourage new unfranchise owners to strive, obviously, to become master unfranchise owners, but let's get them involved in the 53 challenge because it's the same thing, and having at least one or two other people hold you accountable, and in that group, it's the chances for one success is greatly increased.
Right. So this takes you to the page, the landing page for the quarter thing, and it takes you down so you can see what here it shows how you track where you're at. So we're tracking, it tells you BV 1500 to 300 IBV, but this is a great, we're doing this for you. This is all being done for you. I mean, state of the art reports. Okay. Again, the training requirements, date, locations, the trainer's name, you've got all that where you can enter that. So you have the ability to track, trend, measure, monitor, adjust, and control, many people within your organization.
Well said.
Okay. But again, I can't emphasize enough. I mean, this is, this was Dennis's baby right here. I mean, he was all about the MUFO. Okay. And, because it was really about, using and selling product. Okay. Selling the business, getting your people educated, follow up, and the ABC pattern of building depth, imprinting best practices, and getting 7 strong, getting 3 on the left, 3 on the right, all qualifying as a master UFO, achieving base 10, and then getting them to duplicate the same supplement income.
Exactly. He was very proud of the program, very proud of the business, very proud of those individuals who became master and franchise owners. In fact, he'd always, at conventions or conferences, he'd always make sure that we'd have our UFO pin,
we get a verbal beating if we forgot to put that pin on. So anyway, so let's talk about the Dennis Frank's Stay Focused and Stay the Course 53 challenge. Okay, as many of you know, his number when he played in the NFL was 53, and it was kind of just serendipitous, if you will, that there's 52 weeks in a year. Dennis is all about giving, just give me a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And, he kind of, I used to always say, you squeeze 53 weeks of production out of 52 weeks. And, again, amazing. That was his number. And that's why we arrived at the 53 challenge.
And of course, he's the one that would always finish off a conference call or a letter or a note with, stay focused, stay the course. And so obviously that's very appropriate for us to include that in the title of this.
So, so in honor of Dennis, we created this, Stay Focused and Stay the Course 53 challenge. Is designed, as Dennis always talked about, to uplift and empower unfranchised owners. Okay. And helping you to stay accountable and on track towards achieving your goal. You know, Dennis was a big believer in, you know, if you want to be successful, you got to have goals, you got to have objectives, and you got to have a target. You know, you have to have something you're shooting for, and you had to have a plan of action in which to achieve those goals and objectives. And that's really what stay focused came from. The focus what he was referring to is staying focused on your goals, your objectives, the things that you desire, the things that, you know, inspiring. Okay. And that inspire you and that, you know, motivate you. Okay. These are the things that keep you going, you know, through the ups and the downs and the ups and the downs of a business, which is, you know, only natural. And again, stay the course. The course to him was the plan. You stay focused on the objectives. That's what motivates you. You stay the course, which is the plan of action that you have developed in which to achieve those goals and objectives. So Andrew, you want to take us through these categories?
Sure. I'll just quickly, I mean, people can read this, you know, probably faster than I can say them, but just to go through it, you know, there's the challenge categories, once again, are in alignment with the criteria of the Master Run Franchise Owner Program. And the first criteria, of course, is expanding distribution by personally sponsoring new qualified unfranchised owners. Next, new BV sales. And this is, we put a little spin on this because we want to create new volume in the organization. So it's only first-time purchases of a product by a new customer or an existing customer. Okay, so new BV sales. Next, exposing the unfranchised business plan, the MPCP, to prospects. And of course, you can't personally sponsor people unless they evaluate the business and ultimately go on a trial run and I'll try some products and lead to some people. That's the approach that we enjoy using. That's really very effective, whether you're experienced or you're very new in the business. But showing the plan consistently, part of the challenge. Next, ordering from partner stores. You know, we talk about converting spending into earning. The first area that you want to convert your spending into earning is by, you know, purchasing products from your own business, meaning the company's exclusive products, to replace products you're buying from the retail stores that are not paying you to use your products. And then next, of course, anything that you can't get through the exclusive products that the company offers, we have the thousands of partner stores. But you're still creating IBV, which helps, you know, convert spending into earnings. So personal orders from partner stores calculated by order, not by individual items. I think that's more and more people are getting into the habit of going to their shop.com site first, you know, and just being a little bit more organized, planning a little bit can make a big difference in creating more volume for the organization. And lastly, registering new preferred customers. And obviously, if you're creating, you know, exposing the products and exposing the business, you know, all this really does fall into place as it becomes habitual. If you're consistent in practicing, you know, the principles that lend themselves to satisfying this criteria. So pretty simple and straightforward, Kevin. That's why I think it's been really effective for those people who've gone for it and been consistent.
And everybody needs to realize, you know, with respect to our business model, you know, our business model, you know, and the success of it is predicated on the fact that, one, we sell products. Okay, we have tremendous products. They are products that are consumable. Our customers run out of them. So when we make that first time sale, we know historically that over 50% of all first time buyers are going to be repeat. Okay, conservatively. And so that's the importance of creating, you know, introducing new products to existing customers. In other words, practicing one-to-one marketing, as well as, you know, getting new customers. Okay, and because 50% of them will be repeat customers. So the point is once we imprint that and get that duplicated with respect to the model, okay, then it's about just expanding the sales and distribution organization with new partners that are going to sell and distribute product. Okay, there's no efficiency, there's no effectiveness, there's no leverage if we're not looking to expand the organization by bringing in new business partners, because each new business partner has a unique a sphere of influence. It has they have a unique network that we would not be able to tap into to get new customers. Therefore, we bring in new business partners that have that network, that allows us to expand our markets for the products, goods, and services that we sell and represent. You need to really we need to get people looking at this more as entrepreneurs and as business, owners, and get out of this 50, 100, 150 program deal game mentality. It's got to go. It's got to go, because we're basically paralyzing, and handicapping, the power of this model.
Exactly. And Kevin, for those people who just register their business and just do these minimums, I'd rather them just be a customer. At the end of the day, that's why the evaluation approach, no decision, closed trial run process really works, because it determines if they can lead to some people, and through that process, they're using the products and exposing the products as well. So the business starts to work for them before they may even make a decision. And it determines if they're worth your time, energy, and effort, and they're able to answer the question if the business is right for them. But it's the enjoyment, it's the journey, it's that process that, that's the rhythm of the business, like you said, Kevin, in the very beginning of the session. But at the end of the day, we don't need to convince anybody, twist anybody's arm, to get anybody's money. It's about, and so, yeah, I guess I'm just reinforcing what you expressed.
Well said. I always tell people it's the hardest thing after 30 years in this business. The hardest thing for me is to try to find new ways to say the same old thing. That was very, very well put. But, as far as the challenge goes, every single week a news and announcement goes out. Everybody is shown, within each market. You can see your performance. You can see this week's leaders with respect to each individual market. In other words, the US gets one, Canada gets one, Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong, Australia, everybody gets one every single week. And then they also are made aware of who the year-to-date leaders are with respect to all markets combined, it's a nice little thing. I think this is one of the things everybody kind of looks at, to see, do they know anybody? Are they on there? Or if they're not, do they know anybody? Or is there anybody that they're aware of? But it's a pretty neat thing. I know I go.
Yeah, it's a friendly competition.
I'm looking for the flags all the time. I'm like, what is that flag doing here? And I'll be calling up the leaders and they you better get going.
Yeah, no, it's a friendly competition. We're all in the same community. So I think it should be inspiring, and motivating.
And Dennis was very competitive. I mean, he was all about challenges. He was all about, sports his whole life, but he was a very competitive guy, and this is right down his alley. He would be eating this up.
Very sure. Very true.
So how to participate. All right. How to participate. You got to create or join an accountability team of at least 3 unfranchised owners. Now, a lot of people say, well, why can't I just do it myself as an individual? Well, that's not what this business is about. It's about teaming up with people, creating a culture of accountability. People are more apt to do things when they feel that they answer to a higher power than, just themselves. Okay. If you've got teammates, that are depending on you, they're counting on you to do not only what you need to be doing task and activity wise, but they're counting on you to be there for them, to pick them up when they need to be picked up, and and you need them, to pick you up when you're going to need to be picked up. So we require, to do, the 53 challenge, anywhere from 3 to 7 team members.
Exactly.
In order to do that, go to your, management reports, weekly accountability. Okay, you'll find it down here. Okay. Then you go here and you go to the team section. You're going to create a team. Hit that. And here we go. You put there's the team leader. It's going to be Jason. Going to create a new team. He's got a member in there. And then he creates a team name, Team Beast 53. And he's going to put all these guys on here with their email address, save it. Okay. Make sure you got valid email. Okay. It'll come back if it's invalid. All right. All right. So then what you're going to do is you'll get it, all the team members will basically, you've been added to this team. Okay. Beast 53. We've got tests here. So don't anybody get crazy. Okay. Beast 53, everybody that was on there would get an email. And everybody needs to pay attention, because a lot of times people just stop right here. They think, I got the email, I'm part of a team, but you got to do a little bit more. You got to go in and you got to accept. Okay. So you're going to go to the weekly accountability report. Team name is Team Beast 53. You've been invited. Okay. And you want to accept. Okay. Now, there it is. All right. There's the team. You're in Kazoo. There we go. And boom, you're going to come up. Here we go. You're going to accept the challenge. You're going to be getting this. This will be sent to you. You accept the challenge. This is your team. Okay. So you call it Beast 53. You pull it down, you hit it, you accept the challenge, and you are good to go. And you're registered.
And Kevin, if you want to speak to because you were the one that was very passionate about the team. Obviously everything's being tracked individually, but you can only participate if you're connected to a minimum of 2 other unfranchised owners. They don't necessarily have to be in the same organization, but I think you might want to speak to why that was put in place.
I've always, it's all about a team. You got, it's better. This business works better when you work it with somebody. Okay. Because if you're doing it with your senior partner, or a junior partner, you've got double the excitement, double the enthusiasm, double the energy, and you play off of one another. And the thing is really what we're trying to do is transfer that energy and that enthusiasm. And really what that is that belief. We're transferring that belief into a prospect or a potential business partner that's indicated. When I say a prospect, I mean someone that is indicated they have an interest. They have some level of interest. What we want to do is elevate the belief, okay, that this is a worthwhile endeavor in which to give it a try and do an evaluation, because we want them to give it a trial run. Okay. Do the get that trial run going, expose them to some of our great products, and then see if they can put some of that network, that sphere of influence that they have, whether they realize it or not, in front of us to see whether or not we can, get a couple of those people to evaluate the business and have a little bit of that entrepreneurial spirit. But it works. So you'll hear JR say this all the time, and I mean, this is what I got this, immediately 30 years ago. It's about working with somebody. Okay. Because you don't have all the answers, and it just works better. It's a more comfortable atmosphere. Okay. So anytime, not only that, when you're working with somebody, the real learning of the business is not done in a basic 5 classroom. It's not done in an NUOT classroom. It's not done in the ECCT, local seminar, annual conventions, leadership schools. That's not where the real learning goes on. What we find there is you're basically made aware in those settings, those cognitive settings, you're made aware of what to do. Okay. And you're made aware of why you need to do it and what role it plays. But you never really learn it until you actually do it. You participate, you experience. Okay. And it's great to have that person you're doing it with, okay, to show you how to do it, or for you to be able to show the business partner that you're working with how to do it. And then working with them to delegate and get them worked into doing it and participating and doing it themselves. That's where the real learning goes on, okay? Because we build this business with adults. We don't build it with children. Okay.
Well said, Mr. Buckman. Well said.
So anyway, let's go. Submit weekly, okay? So if we're going to submit our reports, okay, we're going to go to submittal. This is the team name. You can address who it's going to go to, your team captain, okay, for the, whether it be the challenge, your team captain for your 53 challenge, or the team captain for your 90-day MUFO action. Now, the key here is if you're doing the 90-day MUFO action plan, more than likely your team that you have for that will be the same team that you're doing for the 53 challenge. And, if you're not, then you go ahead and you make this thing complicated. But, to keep it simple, you'd have the same team, same captain. So when you put that in, okay, what happens is everything you submit for the 90-day MUFO action plan weekly, okay, will also be scraped by the challenge if you're registered for the challenge. So you don't have to do 2 submittals, okay? One submittal takes care of it all, okay? Now, let's go on down here. So let's take a look at the weekly activities, okay? Now, remember, the 20% of the activities that generate 80% of your results in this business, they've been identified for you. Now, you have to identify the 20% of the people in your organization, but we've taken and basically identified the 20% of the activities for you. So you don't have to, figure that out. Okay. Listening to one audio, video, a TED talk, a tape, a Market America tape, anything. Okay. I use ESPN 3030. I'm always, every morning when I'm working out, I get one of those every morning, and that's what I watch and listen to when I'm working out, something to feed my brain, put that positive, spin on, getting my day started. So it's automatic. It's this, you have to do one a week. I do one every day. Okay. And I don't think about it. It's not work. Okay. So you put the title in and, 1 or 2, 3 things that you learn, from the talk. Second, how many days of this week did you look at your goal statement? Okay. It's a no-brainer. Number 1 and 2 are no-brainers. Okay. If you can't do 1 and 2, you need to think about finding something else to do. Okay. Because if you got your goal statement on your refrigerator, you got your goal statement on your, maybe on the wall in your bathroom and somewhere else, how hard is it to look at, read your goal statement once a day or view your dream board? I mean, it's not difficult. Okay. All right. How many possibilities did you contact this week to evaluate product? Okay. Contact possibilities. That didn't say how many appointments. You don't have to book 7 appointments, but you need to make at least 7 contacts. Okay. How many possibilities did you contact this to evaluate the products? Excuse me, I already did that. How many names did you add to your possibilities list? Okay. Everybody had to come into this. If you were doing the MUFO action plan, you had to come in with 100 possibilities. Okay. To even be able to participate in the program. So 100 possibilities on your names list, you need to add 10 a week. And remember, we're talking about names, possibilities, not prospects, possibilities. Okay. And they're everywhere. All right. You need to just look for them. Did you conduct trial size marketing 2 times this week? I mean, there you go. Anybody can give something away. All right. Anybody, brand new person. I don't care if you enrolled last night. All right.
By the way, on that note, is we're doing a lot of analysis and talking to a lot of unfranchised owners as we, select the best of the best to teach, how to prospect, how to retail. And it's interesting that one of the top recruiters, the person who's sponsored the most, qualified unfranchised owners, they have done it 100% through trial size marketing, and I'm just, once again, reinforcing how valuable that is, but how simple it is. Like you're saying, you can just give it away. And then by using the app, of course, is a great complementary tool to make it even more efficient.
And I teach in every seminar, and that everything, everybody should have a 10-pack of daily essentials on their auto ship. It's a no-brainer to me. Okay. And a goal and objective is to basically distribute and get 10 3-day trial size going out every single month. And selling it or selling a new product to an existing customer. Okay. Or a new customer. So conduct 2 trial runs. and follow-up meetings. Okay. In the beginning, when you first get started, you know, you may not have trial runs, but you do have follow-ups, appointments that you had either shown somebody the business or basically, you know, had them, you know, sold them a product or exposed the product to them. Okay. There's still follow-up meetings until you get the trial runs going. Okay. And what a trial run is nothing more than getting someone to agree to do a trial run, get a 3-day trial size, get them to try some product. And at the same time, you know, you're working to have 2 to 3 people put in front of you from their sphere of influence or their network. That's a trial run. All right. You presented the business plan to 2 personal possibilities using the evaluation approach, no decision, close. All you got to do, yes or no, you did. Who were they? What was the date? What was the outcome? Okay. You're going to attend or conduct 1 HBP, UBP, or quorum, okay, for the week. Attend a GMTSS event. UBP counts for that as well. Basic 5, ECCT, local seminar, district, on and on, whatever it may be for the week. Okay. Plugged into something, you know, with respect to the GMTSS. Okay. Now, following is the progress report. I want to explain this. Okay. What this means. Total personally sponsored UFOs. Now, this is how many did you personally sponsor for this, you know, for this given week. Okay. Now, if you're on a team, now this doesn't apply to 53 challenge because we're only tracking individual performance. Okay. But if you're doing a 90-day MUFO action plan, it is very important, you know, that the captain turn in what the team did. So if you have a team of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it may be, okay, it would be what you did personally, as well as what each member of the team, okay, that is registered for your 90-day MUFO action plan. It's not about your entire organization, you know, within the system. It's about the accountability team. Okay. So if, you know, if I had a team of 3 people and myself, then, you know, whatever those 3 did plus me, that would be the team total. Total GBV for selected BDC. Everybody selected a BDC that they were going to be building this quarter and working towards. Okay, they selected it in the very beginning with respect to the commitment document, and you're going to basically put in what was the weekly volume in the left organization, that BDC, and what was the weekly volume, you know, in the right organization. That's the only time you're going to go and really be looking at your entire organization and not your accountability team. Okay. Total personal registered PCs, total team registered PCs, total new personal product sales. In other words, for you personally, okay, how much new BV did you generate or sell this week? New BV meaning to a new customer or a new product to an existing customer. Okay. All right. We got that. Got that. I didn't know I was supposed to click all these. Golly day. All right. Total two. We want to know what the team products are. You know, if you can think about it, if you can get the team putting in new BV, you putting in new BV. Okay. I always make, you know, a bare minimum should be 25 a week. That should be the standard. That's the minimum standard. If you're doing 25 new BV a week, that's 100 new BV a month. Okay. If you did that for 12 months, and 50% became repeat buyers, beginning the 13th month, you'd have 600 new BV regenerating itself every single month like clockwork. Imagine if you had, you know, 3 on the left, 3 on the right that did the same thing. Okay, that's 18 plus your 3 is 21. 18 plus 3 is 21. You're looking at that's 2,100 BV like clockwork every single month. Okay. Total team attendance at the GMTSS. The key here is you need to get as many people in your organization plugged in to the meetings, trainings, and seminars. I'm going to tell you right now, the more knowledge, okay, the more knowledge you can demonstrate that you have about the product or the business to someone you're engaged in a conversation with, okay, that they think you may possess knowledge about something that might be of benefit, might be of value to them. okay, they're going to open up and have a tendency to listen, okay? But you've got to be knowledgeable, you know, and be able to communicate that in that conversation, all right? And you can only get that knowledge. You can only get that knowledge, secure that knowledge by plugging into going to the UBPs, going to the local seminars, going to Basic Fives, okay? Learning how the business works and how all of these things work synergistically, okay? Which they do. It is so powerful, okay? And the more you know about it, the more you can control the conversation. Here, this is also available for download. It's a nice little tracking sheet you can do manually during the week, with respect to keeping track where you're at, you know, what you're doing, and it flows nicely with the weekly accountability report.
So Kevin, I think we need to have like a bit of a rapid fire. This is the last section of this session. It's 8:45 now. We both have broadcasts at 9 o'clock. So I'll read the question and then you give the short answer. Is that cool?
Got it.
There we go. Quick frequently asked questions. Number one, is there a maximum number of participants in a team?
Please keep it to 7 or less. If you get more than 7, you need to create a new team.
Number two, can a UFO be part of 2 or more accountability groups?
No, you need to just, you know, keep your both feet in one canoe.
Okay. Number three, can UFOs change teams halfway through the challenge?
Hell no. Okay. This is about commitment. Okay. If you're not going to be committed, don't sign up.
Number four, can team members be added later during the challenge?
Absolutely. We want to encourage anybody, you know, with the 53 challenge, we want to plug them in, get them to participate. Again, you know, we want everybody engaged.
And even new unfranchised owners, like I mentioned earlier.
Everyone.
Number five, must all team members be linked in the same lineage or genealogy?
No. The big focus is making sure that you're on a team of 3 or more.
Number six, will the leaderboard display? Number six, will the leaderboard display individual or team names?
Just the individual names.
Okay. You know all the answers, huh?
Yeah,
Number seven, are the points awarded based on individual or team performance?
Individual performance.
Number eight, when and how often do participants need to submit the report?
Every single week, latest by 11:59 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday.
And the last frequently asked question is, does the team leader need to consolidate the team scores?
Not for the 53 challenge, but for 90-day MUFO action plan, absolutely.
Kevin, this has been I think a very valuable session. I don't know if you want to, sorry, I didn't know there was another slide.
Yeah, one more. It's just, you know, a little quote from Dennis: every day can be an uplifting and empowering experience, okay? And this is a little quote from me: can be. Can be is the key operating word within, you know, every day can be uplifting. Can be means it's a choice, okay? There's a decision you got to make, okay? And it has to be made. So we're hoping that everybody will strive to reach their full potential by accepting the challenge, stay focused, stay the course, and, you know, make that commitment, and, you know, make tomorrow be better today.
And have fun and enjoy the process. The joys in the journey. A rule should be to have fun during this process of developing the business and reaching your personal and financial goals. Kevin, this is a great session. Thank you very much for leading it. And I'm hopeful everybody out there that tuned in also felt it was valuable, and hopefully information will be utilized as you implement, have fun, and grow your business. Look forward to seeing you in August at the International Convention.
Good night.
Take care, everybody.